Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints offense and what to expect from them next season. We'll be breaking down the Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston debate. But before we get started, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. That would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's dive right into it. So in today's video, we're going to be going over this Saints offense in 2021. But let's talk about what they did last year. Drew Brees led them in passing yards with 3,000, just shy of 3,000 passing yards. Remember, he only played in 12 games. Alvin Kamara led them in rushing yards and receiving yards. Obviously, he had some fantastic games, most notably that game against the Vikings where he had like 4 touchdowns. No, he had more than 4 touchdowns. He had so many touchdowns. Was it 6 touchdowns? Yeah, it might have been 6 touchdowns, actually. He was absolutely insane in that game. But let's just look at where they rank compared to the rest of the league in the major offensive categories. We'll start by total offense. That's just going to be, points per game, where they ranked in that regard, which was definitely near the top of the league, number 5th in points per game. Definitely one of the better scoring offenses in the NFL when you've got an Alvin Kamara, when you've got Latavius Murray as another downhill runner. Those things are going to help. And then you got an accurate quarterback in Drew Brees too. Passing offense-wise, this is going to be not quite, top 5, but they're still going to be somewhere here. Where are they? Number 19 in the league. That's actually interesting. They were the 19th best passing offense in the league. Definitely a better running offense than passing offense. Number 6 in rushing offense. Remember, just really good offensive line and really good running backs that really helped them in that regard. But now let's look at their team for next season. And the big thing I want to talk about for next season is going to be their quarterback conversation. That's between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. So last year when Drew Brees went down with injury, the Saints decided to go after and allow for Taysom Hill to get some playing time. And what Taysom Hill brings is he's much more of a versatile, athletic quarterback. Arm really utilizes his athleticism. He's basically a tight end playing quarterback, really just an athletic guy using his legs to really extend plays and be a good quarterback. That's what he does. Jameis Winston does it differently, and we've seen that in the past before. Obviously, he's a guy who's thrown many interceptions in a season before. And last year, we didn't really see a lot of Jameis Winston at all, as his first year in New Orleans, sitting on the bench, really learning behind Drew Brees, learning with Taysom Hill. But this year, I would expect for Jameis Winston to get the starting job. And the real thing with him is he throws a lot of touchdowns, he throws a lot of yards, but he also throws a lot of interceptions. Those have been his concerns, since coming into the league, especially with the Bucs. Remember that one season where he threw 30-plus touchdowns, but threw 30 interceptions to go along with it. Ended up not re-signing with the Bucs, and then Tom Brady came to the Bucs, and then the rest is history. But Winston's interception totals and interception numbers have gone skyrocketing as a starter, and they have skyrocketed. So it's really, how do you limit interceptions? How do you maximize touchdowns? And how do you maximize efficiency? And I think Winston deserves the starting job because at the end of the day, Winston's still a good NFL quarterback. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You don't see tons of guys that have the ability to throw for 5,000 yards and have the ability to throw for 30-plus touchdowns. Sure, he can throw 38-plus interceptions too, but at the same time, those 30-plus touchdowns, those high yardage numbers, those are things that the Saints really like about Jameis Winston. And if Jameis Winston's able to keep hold of the football, this offense could be really good. It's really just consistent quarterback play. Can they get above average quarterback play out of either Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill? Whoever gives them the best shot for that is going to be the starter. I think Jameis Winston is that guy. I think he's the guy who can really add a lot to this Saints offense, and he's a guy that's really going to help Kamara and really going to help Michael Thomas. Talking about Alvin Kamara was absolutely fantastic for this team last year. Rushed for just shy of 1,000 rushing yards, I think. 932 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. Remember, he had that massive game against the Vikings late in the season. But pass catching too, 83 catches, 756 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. Led the team, I think, in all those categories, which is kind of crazy. And Alvin Kamara is the Saints offense. I mean, what he's able to do as a pass catcher, as a runner, super elusive outside the tackles, but he can also run in between the tackles. He's effective as a pass catcher too on second, third down. Can do it on first down. He's a complete running back. He's a 3-down back, and his speed, his athleticism, his versatility. You can line him up in so many different areas. He's such a versatile weapon for the Saints offense, and he really adds a lot to the Saints offense. And Latavius Murray is another really good example of what the 1-2 combo that the Saints running game has. They've got a really good offensive line. If you look at their offensive line, I mean, Ryan Ramcyzk, Cesar Ruiz, Erik McCoy, Andrus Peat, Terron Armstead. We'll talk about them later, but they're really elite. All those guys are elite, and they're really good at run blocking. blocking to really help Alvin Kamara. But more importantly, Latavius Murray is much more of a pound it downhill runner who, could be a starting running back in the NFL on a bad football team. I mean, this guy is a really good backup running back. He's a power running back. He gets downhill in a hurry. He scores touchdowns. So they've got a real nice 1-2 combo as Alvin Kamara as a do-it-all, 3-down back, especially as an elusive back, pass-catching back. But Latavius Murray can catch the ball at the backfield too. He's really good in the red zone and really helps the Saints inside 20 yards. And then you look at Michael Thomas. Of course, Michael Thomas is one of the best receivers in the entire league. Sure, he had a tough season last year because of injuries, but this guy's capable of much bigger things than what we saw. And sure, he didn't have a touchdown all of last season, but 40 catches, 438 yards, dealing with injuries, hobbling on one leg basically. He was still good. I mean, this guy season before broke Marvin Harrison's, single season reception record. So I don't really think there's a concern about Michael Thomas. I mean, I think the concern is, okay, can he get back to what he was doing? But this guy is still a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Don't get me wrong about that. Don't even try and make an argument that tells me that Michael Thomas isn't still Michael Thomas anymore. He's a really, really good wide receiver, big, tall, physical, good in the red zone, can run the slant really well. Good in the short intermediate passing game. He's a complete receiver, and he's going to be the number one option in the passing game for whoever's playing quarterback. Then there's Tre'Quan Smith too. I mean, you got to look at Tre'Quan Smith. He's been an okay receiver for the Saints team over the past few years. Has been versatile. He's been able to spread the field a little bit. But overall, I mean, after Michael Thomas, the depth in the wide receiving core is really, really low. Marquez Callaway, not a good wide receiver 3. Jawan Johnson, Deontay Harris, none of these guys really add a ton to this offense. I mean, Michael Thomas is obviously really good wide receiver number 1. Tre'Quan Smith can pass as a wide receiver 2 just because of what he's been able to do. I mean, he can put up 600, 700 receiving yards and a few touchdowns, but it's really going to rely on Michael Thomas. How much can Michael Thomas produce by himself in double teams? How much can he produce with Alvin Kamara? It's really Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas taking this team on their back, and I think Adam Trautman could honestly have a really nice year, especially with no Jared Cook there anymore. He went off to LA to join the Chargers this offseason, but Trautman last year as a rookie had 15 catches for 171 yards and 1 touchdown. With a bigger workload, I would not be surprised seeing him up near 40 catches for 500 or so yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think that could be a big part of the Saints offense too, really making sure that they can spread the ball around, because at the end of the day, if you look at the receivers after Michael Thomas and Tre'Quan Smith, I don't really trust anyone with the football there. Adam Trautman played well at times last year, and I think that he could add a nice playmaking presence at the tight end position, add some red zone effectiveness. But overall, I don't love the weapons that this Saints team has behind Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. I think Adam Trautman could be reliable. We haven't really seen enough of him. But I think that he could be an option, definitely. Then we look at the offensive line, and this offensive line is one of the best in the NFL. It's up there with the Browns' offensive line. Terron Armstead is a Pro Bowl type left tackle, really good in pass protection, really good in run blocking. Andrus Peat, in a good season, could be a Pro Bowler. Erik McCoy, Pro Bowl type player. Cesar Ruiz played pretty well last year. I thought definitely probably the worst offensive lineman on this offensive line, but that really doesn't tell you anything when you've got Ryan Ramcyzk playing right tackle, who's another Pro Bowl player. You've got 2 Pro Bowl talents playing the tackle positions that are both so good in pass protection and run blocking. They're the heart and soul of this offense there in New Orleans. But I mean, this offensive line starts everything. This is a top 5 offensive line in the league, and with that protection that you're getting, if you're Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, you're going to need the time in the pocket to throw the ball and find someone that's open. To be honest, though, it's going to be a 3. It comes down to 3 things. 1, who's the quarterback and what's the quarterback doing? If you get good quarterback play, I think the Saints offense could be in the top half of the offense in offenses in the NFL. If you get elite quarterback play, this is a top 10 offense just because of the pure talent. You've got 2 top 5 players at their position in Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. And then honestly, Ryan Ramczyk is probably a top 5 right tackle. Terron Armstead's definitely up there in the conversation of top 5 left tackles. It's just really how much depth is there? How much can those guys stay healthy? How can Alvin Kamara stay healthy? There's been injury concerns with him before. There's been injury concerns with Michael Thomas before. Can Jameis Winston play well? But there's a lot of question marks surrounding the Saints offense, but I still think if everyone's able to stay healthy, if Jameis Winston's able to, even though, throw for 30 interceptions or 30 touchdowns, I don't think that'll happen. I think he'll throw in the ballpark of 25 touchdowns and 15 or so interceptions. I still think that's good enough for the Saints offense to be in the top half of the league. It's just how good will they be? It's how good will they be? Without Drew Brees, that accurate, quarterback there, I think we'll see some regression, but I think that we'll see a lot of points. I think we'll see a lot of yards. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if the Saints team ends up finishing the season in the top 10 of offenses in the NFL. So watch out for the Saints offense next season in 2021. And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.